Steve, we normally don't put too much of an emphasis on spring training results, but how important do you think they are specifically for Pete Alonso this spring?
Doug, I think they matter. I really think they do. I mean, first of all, just look at his first 2 seasons in the big leagues. His first season, his rookie year, he was dominant in spring training. He made it a no-brainer that he was going to break camp with the team, and then went on to have that historic rookie season. Last year, did not have a great spring or summer camp, and that followed through to the season. That being said, I think the biggest reason why it's important is Pete Alonso's words when he spoke the first time this spring, talking about how he probably put too much pressure on himself last year, how he needs to allow himself, in his words, more grace. And so even though the mental side of it is something he's working on, clearly it's something that has been an issue in the past. And so if he can get off to a hot start this spring, build that confidence right off the bat, and not have to deal with some tough ABs early in spring training, early in the season, I think it'll only bode well for him moving forward here in 2021.
That was the pitch in 19. I feel like I saw Pete hit out 20 times. That fastball, middle down, and he went up the middle the other way with it. It was beautiful to see. Now, I will say that it's great to have that kind of result this early in spring training. It'll be more important to see him having those kinds of results closer to the end of spring training and really build that confidence up going into the season so that we can see the Pete that we remember from 19.
Hannah, I'm guilty of talking about Pete Alonso this past offseason as the guy who's going to play first base instead of Dom Smith, the guy who's not as good defensively as Dom Smith and is coming off a down year, with almost the forgetfulness of 2019, how great it was and how good he ended the 2020 season despite his struggles. What are your expectations for Alonso in 2021 after the 2 seasons we've seen him so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think 2019, it's tough to replicate that. I think, last year we saw he struggled a little bit, and there are some underlying concerns. So his StatCast expected batting average last year was actually lower than his actual batting average, which goes to show that it wasn't just that he was getting unlucky, or I guess sort of any more unlucky than we all were living through a pandemic and having to have his routine disrupted like that, which is sort of to not downplay that too much. I'm sure that did factor, that you're coming off of such a big year and then everything gets disrupted in the way that it did, and summer camp didn't look good, right? So I think we're looking at something sort of hopefully in between those two, with the understanding that the power will probably be there. That we may not see a batting average quite like we did in 2019 again for Pete Alonso because the league adjusts and all of that sort of stuff. But I'm confident that the power is still there, and that the Mets will be a very good team built around Pete Alonso sort of for a very long time. I think he will be their power hitting first baseman for a while, at least until we have a DH.